Author POV. The whole room is unbearably silent. The suffocating quietness and the waves of rage coming from him were scaring everyone standing there. It's been 45 minutes since that horrific blast. Someone threw a grenade on the garden area that caused the blast. She was a mere 15 feet away from it, and his security head John was luckily there to save her, but still a sharpened scratched her cheekbone. It was a little cut and nothing serious happened, but they know she was shaken even when she doesn't admit it. She looked like the little boy who was always scared and looked up to him for protection, not like the fairness woman he observed since he came back. He looked at her sitting on her bed with her mother, Mrs. Kim and Minjin, consoling her, but it's like she is not there. Her eyes were glazed and fear can easily be seen through them, or he can see her fear and anxiety because from the moment John came inside the house with her in his arms, Taehyung didn't look away. He quickly took her from John's arms and took her to her room. They wait for the doctor to come and do a checkup. The kid were with the help because they don't want them to see wine like this. The doctor cleaned her cheek and applied a small bandage. How is she? The doctor looked scared because this is the first time he speaks, but his eyes are still fixed on Wyan. She's perfectly fine and I will give her some light mind relax as something to relax. She needs rest. She's fine physically, but this accident shook her mentally. Mrs. Kim gave a low sob, hugged her daughter, who just looked ahead without listening to anything they said. Taehyung nodded his head and watched as the doctor injected something into her arm. With a blank face, he saw her losing battle with the unconsciousness. The doctor gave a firm nod to him in a respect, who looked at John to see the doctor off. He looked at her lying figure with a sudden hurriedness of emotion. He felt like someone tried to kill him and almost succeeded. Mrs. Min sobbed as she held her daughter's hand and looked at her with a fear to lose her only family. I almost lose my girl. What if John was not there? Nothing will happen to her, nothing. The ladies turned to him, who stood by the door as both Jimin and Hoon stood beside him either side, looking equally angry and pained. Jimin's phone rang as he picked it up, and after nodding at the person, he passed the phone to Taehyung. He took the phone but kept his eyes on a certain person who was sleeping like the Sleeping Beauty. Get everything ready, we are coming. Giving Jimin phone back to him, Taehyung moved toward the bed and looked at Mrs. Min. I swear on my life today nothing will happen to her till I am breathing. Wyan will be protected and I will do it. He kissed Mrs. Min's forehead and looked at her lying on the bed with the bandage on her cheek. That little scratch made him kill everyone responsible for her pain and fear. He caresses her good cheek and with a final stare went out the room, with his two most trusted men following behind him as he walked like a lion. His eyes shine with the rage, his tense muscles getting tenser, and his friend hand promising destruction. They went to the basement, a place under the Kim mansion, where they keep the hostage and spices. He looked at his men who bowed their head in respect, because the man who was walking in front of him as the leader, the boss, the mafia leader, they reached in the iron door that was gated with a high security. It looked like a high intelligence and agency prison more than a underground torture basement. He walked with an emergency his gait as Jimin opened the secret door that is the part of the family house. His high red eyes and ruffled hair give a more dangerous look to him. He turned the corner and another trusty man greeted him as he looked at his death in the eyes. "Where is the man, Jack?" He nodded at the man who looked at him with a blank expression and quickly explained the situation to him. "In the investigation room, sir. We tried everything to open his mouth, but he didn't speak a single word. Not for long." That's made his two best friends smirk as they noticed the evil tone in his work. This is the lion, various side of the mafia side of him. They opened the door to see a man sitting on the chair with his hand bound to it. He looked at them with a blank expression. "Who sent you?" It's Jimin who asked the question, but they didn't get an answer. The heavy silence influenced them. Taehyung signed to his nose as he looked at his best friend and trust man Jimin and Hoon looked at him with a pride, like they get their boss back. He moved toward the man tied to the chair, stood in front of him just to observe him. "Why?" One word, the man's expression changed. He forward but the glump when he saw the intensity of his eyes. Jimin and Hoon was also came inside the room while Jack stood by the door to see it. "I am being nice and all. It's been 2 years since I used this kind of violence. I didn't use it, but I never forget how to open your mouth before it's get bloody and messy." Still no answer. Taehyung nodded at the man bravely and turned around to look away, but suddenly moved and packed a solid punch that the man raffled. "Shit, that bloody hurt." It's Jimin who was doing the commentary while Hoon just watched with a blank nod. The man gestured and screamed from the pain he was feeling in his jaw and his cheekbone, probably cracked. Speak up before I broke all bones in your body for doing this. You think you can come here in my territory and get away after trying to harm my family, my angel?" Jimin smirked at the last part, but one hit to the man and sober up. The moment the attack happened, his security get alert and they saw the man running on the bike, so they blast his tire and catch him. Jimin was informed, who told them to hold him here and wait for them. But when man didn't open his mouth, Taehyung took matters into his own capable hand and after making sure that one is not hurt more than they saw, he came straight here with a promise of destruction and death in his eyes. The man clumped at his word, but then a blank expression came over his face. Taehyung noticed it frown and he looked at his best friend who also noticed the change in the atmosphere. Taehyung looked at the Jack who stood like a good soldier at the door. Make sure he knew where he is. Make sure he feel everything till the next time I saw him because I need the truth from him. He turned to go back as Jimin and Hoon following him, but they stopped when they heard the man spoke up for the first time. She will die. Veins tightened in his arm, boiled blood and muscle tense as he heard the word. He turned around to look at the man who now looked at the robotic as he can and speak again. She will die. She will face it. Death is close. Mr. Main daughter will join her father. He stopped talking and bite his own tongue, but soon a loud bang sound in the room. Jimmy turned to now dead man who had a bullet wounded between his eyes, and then toward Taehyung who glared at the end man and lowered his gun. Are you stupid? You killed him. We could have used him for knowing who's doing this, but you just killed him because he was swelling bullshit. He was not of any use, Jimin. He tucked his gun under his coat jacket and looked at his friend like he didn't kill a man. There is not his friend. This is the ruthless mafia leader. Are you crazy? How can you say that? Just listen. Shut up, Hun. Don't side with him. He was being impulsive and not observed, and he had the nerves to say that he was of no use. What the heck? Stop your ranting, Jimin, or I won't hesitate and shut it for you with my fist. And I am saying this because I am observant and not a joker like you. Oh really? Then prove it. Jimmy smirked at him, and then the sinister smirk has won. When he won an argument, he pointed at the dead man with his hand and shocked everyone. See for yourself, this man who bit his tongue down after giving the message now had foam at his mouth and blue face. He was scared at the start, but then suddenly his expression turned black. Like a switch, he didn't feel fear of death. I noticed his shaking body, but after that moment, not even his eyebrows twitched. He was weird, like a robot. Someone was controlling him, his brain at least. Don't you notice the change of his tone, and when he spoke, he sounded like a robot. His words shocked the three men standing there as he looked blankly at them. Jimin looked like a gasping fish. The moment he bit his tongue, he chewing something. I knew it. It was saline. I was angry. Heck, I was crying. Still I am. But I helped him and show him mercy by a quick death. Jack, make sure to clean this mess and give him a Bernier. We are bad but not evil. Also start an investigation on who is he and everything. I need the report by night. With that said, he turned around and moved out, but not before teasing Jimin. Close your mouth, Jimin. You don't need bloody files in your mouth. Also, you will need time to experience to be this observant buddy. Jimin closed his mouth quickly as soon shook his head and the duo, and together they moved behind their friend, leaving the man to deal with the dead body and mess. Taehyung made John his way to the house, and Jack also came thereafter, making sure that the mess is clean. John, make sure you handle the security team in the garden area. They shouldn't know that what will happen when they laze around on work and didn't do the work correctly, and increase the security on the parameter, and I want my best man on duty. John nodded at him, and they followed him to the house office where they all sat down to discuss the matter. When Jack spoke up, boss, the man is clean and he was taken for punctual, but I found this from his pocket when I was searching for any clue. He gave a piece of paper of Taehyung that blushes off the blood and Taehyung take it, fawn on his face. I am always around but never seen. I am often avoided but you can't outcome me, for I will come when you're old and grey, or maybe even the very next day. I will come with the cold embrace and give you the rest with a chilled kiss on your face. I come in a many forms and emotional state, whether it's irony, love, laughter, or hate. I am everyone's final fate for Minmoyen.